If you've nothing more to say, pray, scat.
You're married.
I am? Yes, I am.
I knew it. I could tell. You look married. I'm going to fall in love with you. Because I always do.
Isn't it wonderful?
She was the blonde bombshell, the ultimate movie star, a symbol of American glamour and desire. But behind the dazzling smile and the breathy voice was a woman the world never truly knew. Her name was Norma Jeane Mortensen. On August 5, 1962, Marilyn Monroe was found dead in her Brentwood home. The official report called it a suicide, a closed case. But from that moment on, the myth of Marilyn Monroe was eclipsed by a far more compelling story: the conspiracy. The official story is a tragedy straight out of a Hollywood script. A beautiful, troubled star, overwhelmed by depression and career pressures, alone in her bedroom. An empty bottle of Nembutal, a powerful barbiturate, by her bed. The coroner ruled it a probable suicide. She had taken over 40 capsules, a dose so massive it defies belief. A woman who weighed just 116 pounds, consuming enough sedatives to kill several grown men. But the timeline doesn't fit the tragedy. In the summer of 1962, Marilyn was on the upswing. She was renegotiating her studio contract, planning new films, and was, by all accounts, excited about the future. This was not a woman writing her final scene, so if it wasn't suicide, what was it? The first block in the Jenga tower of the official story is pulled. This is where the story ignites. For years, rumors swirled of Marilyn's affairs with the most powerful men in America, President John F. Kennedy and his brother, Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy. But this was more than just tabloid gossip. The FBI had a 400-page file on her. The CIA considered her a security risk. She wasn't just a mistress, she was a potential liability. The theory goes that Marilyn knew too much. She was privy to secrets about the CIA's plots with the mafia to assassinate Fidel Castro, about the Bay of Pigs fiasco. She allegedly kept a little red diary filled with notes on her conversations with the brothers Kennedy. And then, just as she was becoming a political grenade, the pin was pulled. Was she murdered to protect the presidency? To prevent the scandal that could bring down an administration? The tower of the official story wobbles dangerously. If it was murder, the next question is, who did it? Conspiracy theorists offer a menu of suspects, each with a compelling motive. The mafia hit. Robert Kennedy, as Attorney General, was waging a fierce war on organized crime. What better way to strike back than to murder the president's alleged mistress and frame it as a suicide, creating a scandal that would cripple the Kennedys? The CIA cleanup. Alternatively, the agency itself may have decided she was a loose end that needed tying up permanently. Her death, staged to look like a suicide, could have been a covert operation to protect national secrets. The studio executives. Let's not forget Hollywood. Marilyn had become difficult. She founded her own production company, challenged the studio system, and had just been fired from a film, costing Fox millions. A permanently troubled star is bad for business. A dead, legendary star? That's a gold mine. With so many potential killers, the idea of a lonely suicide seems less and less likely. Even if you ignore the grand conspiracies, the details of that night themselves read like a poorly written detective novel. The timeline is a mess. Her housekeeper, Eunice Murray, gave conflicting accounts. She was reportedly washing sheets before the police arrived.
Is there a problem, sir?
Why? Yes. Dr. Greenson, the psychiatrist, admitted to entering the room by smashing a window with a fireplace poker, a bizarrely dramatic entrance for a medical professional. crucial evidence vanished. Phone logs from her home that night disappeared. The infamous Red Diary was never found. The initial toxicology report was, by modern standards, incomplete. It was as if the scene was being curated before the police even arrived. And with breathtaking speed, by dawn, the most high-profile death in the world was declared a case closed. The efficiency was suspicious. The official story isn't just wobbling now, it's collapsing. Amid the noise of conspiracy, there is a quieter, more tragic possibility. What if there was no villain other than the demon she carried with her? Marilyn was profoundly unwell. She battled severe depression, was dependent on barbiturates to sleep, and had been in and out of psychiatric care. Modern forensic experts suggest her death could have been a cry for help that went terribly wrong. An accidental overdose, not a deliberate act. She may have taken pills, fallen into a stupor, and then, in a confused state, taken more, unknowingly reaching a lethal dose. It's a banal medical tragedy, but it lacks the glamour of a political thriller. America didn't want her goddess to die by a simple, sad mistake. We preferred her murdered. This is the only theory that gives her back some agency, yet it's the one we're most reluctant to accept. So why, after over 60 years, does this mystery still captivate us? Perhaps because Marilyn Monroe is more than a person. She's a blank screen for our collective fantasies. A majority of Americans believe she was killed. She represents the silenced woman, the beauty destroyed by powerful men, the dark side of the American dream. Every new book, every new film claims to have the answer, but they only add another layer to the myth. We keep her alive by endlessly investigating her death. We need her to be a victim of something grand, because the alternative, that she was a victim of her own profound sadness, is somehow too intimate, too real to bear. The mystery is more comforting than the truth. The case of Marilyn Monroe is permanently adjourned. The official cause of death is suicide. The court of public opinion delivers a verdict of murder. The truth is buried with her in a crypt that has become a shrine. We are left with the image and the echo, the glamorous movie star and the lonely woman, the official story and the irresistible conspiracy. Perhaps the most enduring truth about Marilyn Monroe is that she was and always will be whatever we need her to be. And in death as in life, she remains forever elusive.